Right guys, so James at RampantLionReviews again for you today. For this one you are going to see Meet the Brewery number 3. So for this one I was at Pühaste Pruulikoda in Tartu in the southeast of Estonia. I had a really nice afternoon with Eero Mander, who is one of the original 3 founders of Pühaste and the head brewer. Or master brewer, I don't know exactly how to refer to him, but he's the main man behind the brewing anyway. But I had a nice interview with him. We did a beer tasting together, and I've also got a walk round of the brewery and things like that for you. So I really hope you enjoy edition number 3 of the Meet the Brewery. This was great to film, and if you haven't tried some of the Pühaste Pruulikoda beers, I highly recommend that you do. So I hope you enjoy this one. Let's just see where we go from here. Cheers, Turbosens. Alright guys, so just to give you a little walk through the brewery then, so yeah, it's basically it's kind of an industrial facility this. From what Eero was telling me, this used to be an industrial laundry basically. So yeah, we can go in here and have just a little walk round as we did with Pühaste. So yeah, this is where we filmed our interview. We came into the grain room here because it was nice and kind of quiet, as you can see. But yeah, there's the mill grain. The malts that they're using are mainly German malts. From what he was telling me, these kind of Erex malts. It's a small German family company actually, which is pretty cool. But they use Simpson's malt from England as well. It all goes into the kind of grinder here. Or the miller, I guess you could say, and then it goes through the pipe and up into the brewing vessel. So yeah, let's go and have a look at these. So yeah, as you can see here, this is the Brew Kit. This is where the magic happens. This is a Chinese kit that they have apparently, and I think it was called, I'm sure Eero said it was premium steel it was called. So yeah, this one, yeah, 2-vessel kit over here. They've got their hot water tank over there. They've got a cold water tank as well. But yeah, kind of nice smaller system here. And this is it's a 2,500 litre system actually, 25 hectolitres. But yeah, here, here as you can see, they have the different fermentation tanks. These ones are 2,500 litres, so this is basically single boil tanks here, and these big boys on the left, these are the 5,000 litres. So from what Eero said, the core beers ferment in here, and the more experimental kind of one-off batches go here. But yeah, they've got some smaller things down here. This is their little pilot brew kit that they got as well, so 200 litres apparently. But yeah, this thing that is waiting to be installed, this is a pasteurisation line. So yeah, this is so they can pasteurize the beers. He says that they're going to work on some non-alcoholic beers at this point as well. So yeah, this is for his project with non-alcohol beers. But yeah, you can see this is a tank that's going to go with that as well. But apparently they're getting more tanks, and this whole space here will be just fermenters. But you can see, yeah, they've got some old pictures and stuff from around here. But yeah, let's go this way and just have a little look. So there you can see some lovely artwork. They keep some of the yeasts and things over in this fridge over here, which is pretty cool. But yeah, you can see they've got all the different labels of the beers that they've done, and this is only the stuff that they've brewed in this brewery here. They moved in here in about the start 2015, but they didn't start brewing until 2016. Because like I said, this one is a fairly kind of new facility, this one. They've been going about 4 years, and their festival that they have here is to commemorate each different year. But you can see, yeah, there's lots of different barrels and things here. These are Heaven Hill casks, so these are all the bourbon barrel-aged ones. So yeah, that's pretty cool. If we go over here, you can see they've got some of the kegs that are waiting to be shipped out. You can see these are rum barrel ones, plantation rum. Kind of cool. These These ones are the cognac barrels, again pretty cool. These ones are port rooms as well. These were Portuguese from what I remember. But yeah, the dollar boxes of all the different beers and things here, which is pretty cool. So yeah, if we go through here, then we go into the bottling line, which is pretty awesome. You can see the guys working hard there. They've got an Italian bottling line. But yeah, these are all the casks of the darker beers, all the kegs of the darker beers getting ready to go out. Apparently in the room over here, this is where the lagers and the IPAs are kept, but they will very soon be making the transition to cans. And they've got a canning line here from the States. This one came from Nebraska. ABE, American Brewing Equipment, Nebraska. And they are going to get this installed, but the COVID-19 situation has stopped that. But at the moment you can see they've got an Italian Framax bottling line. So yeah, pretty nice setup here. This building, like I say, it used to be an industrial laundry. So yeah, it's a nice setup. There you can see some of the boxes and things waiting to go out. So yeah, pretty cool. But really interesting little facility, this one. So yeah, let's leave it at that for the walk around.
Right guys, James at RampantLionReviews again for you today. We're going to do number 3 in our series of Meet the Brewer. So today I'm very kindly joined by Eero Mander from Pühaste Pruulikoda, Pühaste Brewery. Depending on how fluent in Estonian you are, very difficult language as we know, but we're in Tartu today in the southeast of the country, and I guess it's fair to say that Pühaste is probably one of the best known Estonian breweries to people that are not Estonian as well as people that are Estonian. So yeah, these guys are one of the ones that you're most likely to encounter, I think, when you taste Estonian beer. But yeah, Eero, thank you for doing the interview, and yeah, I guess the first question a lot of people would like to know about would be, you know, when I was here back in 2013, it was Saku, Alacoque, that was it, and then, you know, you guys, Pohjola, Ulanaut, Tanker, all of these other breweries have come in. So what would you say is the biggest change in the Estonian beer scene and the Estonian beer drinkers' mind?
Yeah, thank you for being here. It's great to have you here. And cheers, we are drinking concession IPA just from the packaging lines. Yeah, as fresh as you can get.
Fresh as you can get. It was called Sumi, was it?
Vulin.
Yeah. Vulin. This is the thing when it's Estonian names. It's difficult to remember some of them. But yeah, fresh off the line. Great.
Yeah, but I would say we were not the first wave of craft breweries in Estonia. The four first ones were Ulanaut, Pohjola, Lehe, and Tanker again. And we started as a gypsy brewer, so we came a bit later, and we opened this facility in 2016. So these were the 4 biggest ones, and we slowly have become by now the 4th biggest overall in Estonia. I would say the craft scene in Estonia has developed a lot when comparing to the early days. We have around, I can't say the number, 30 to 50 breweries. Most of them really small, but some bigger ones as well who export. And I think in Estonia it's really important because the local market is very, very tiny and one thing I would mention is the quality-wise, it has gone up definitely. And, I think that's the main thing when comparing to the brewers before the boom and during the start.
Yeah. So do you think, I mean, as well, the other thing would be, I remember Ian from Pruulikoda was telling me that they export somewhere in the region of 70% of the stuff that they produce.
Yeah, last year we were 60%. We were supposed to do the same, I would say 70 this year, but due to COVID situation. The export tied down for 3 months completely, so it has picked up a little now. Yeah, we export to 23 countries. So.
Okay. Yeah, because I think, well, this is the thing for you guys watching. For those of you that don't know, Estonia, it's the population's about 1.3 million, and I think about 950,000 Estonians, and then about 350,000 Russians, kind of thing. So it's interesting that. So if you've got breweries this size for a country that size, a lot of your beer is going to be exported.
Yeah.
So where are your biggest export markets?
I would say nowadays Netherlands, France, Finland, Russia.
Okay. So still fairly local. Do you guys send your beers out to Asia as well, to like China, Japan?
There has been a lot of interest, but even though we are the fourth biggest, we're still very small. We just don't have the volume to do that. We sent some beer to Singapore now, and maybe we start working with the Chinese exporter. We'll see. We are adding new tanks, so once we do small beer, then let's see. But we want to concentrate on Europe at this point.
Oh.
And it's not a goal to be available in every country in the world.
Yeah, because obviously then the thing you've got is, at some points you have to, if you do export, you have to decide, right, what do we if we send beers abroad, we don't know how long it's going to take. Then you have to send the stouts and the darker beers that will survive the journey. You can't send.
It's cold container strictly when sending to Asia. There's no other way.
Oh yeah. So no, it's interesting to learn about all of these things then. So I guess we can maybe go into to you personally then. So Eero is one of the 3 founders of Pühaste. So you did it along with RampantLionReviews and Lauri Eiderman.
You got the names right.
So I was worried about this. So you're one of the original 3 founders of the company.
Yeah.
So let's go back to this then. What was your first encounter with craft beer, if you like, the sort of more American new wave style craft beer? And what was the first beer you found that you enjoyed? What was it that showed you that beer could be a lot more than just, macro lager, if you like?
Actually, it was in 2010 or 11, and I drank a lot of beer, but I didn't know much about this. And I was drinking beer with my father. He's traveling a lot, he's a scientist, and he brought some Belgian beers over. And I didn't even know that there are more than Leffe or Stella Belgian.
Yeah, Stella Belgian, yeah.
And I said, what else is there? So he brought out a few bottles, and I was quite amazed what beer can be. And then it's, I think something changed in me at this point. It started a journey where I'm now on. At this period, there were no craft beers or basically anything else than light lagers or maybe some porters, stouts, or macro. I wanted to drink these kind of beers, but I didn't get the chance to get them from Belgium or anywhere else, so I thought I need to brew them myself. So it started the home brewing obsession I had. Yeah, but the first, it was Chimay. It was and the first IPA I would say was a Brewdog punk IPA, I would say.
Yeah.
Came out around.
That's about maybe 2000 and I don't know when it would have reached Estonia, but for us, I studied in Aberdeen, right next to Brewdog.
Yeah.
So we would have got it around 2010, 2009, 2010-ish.
Yeah. And it caused a big wave in Estonia. All the Pohjala guys were inspired by this beer. It's really something different to Belgian beers. The hop flavor and aroma, it's amazing. So I would say these two beers.
Chimay and punk IPA.
Not nothing too extravagant.
Well, that's the thing is, there's always a gateway beer for everybody, and I mean, I think that's punk IPA. That's, I think, a lot of people really been introduced to that, and if that's, Brewdog, in fairness, they really raised awareness of the American styles of beer. I think that's definitely fair to say. So I think definitely they really raised awareness of that. So so you said you started home brewing. When was that roughly? You started
2011.
2011. So
and I had a really simple kit. I was mashing in a cooler, and I would encourage everyone. You don't need expensive equipment to brew good beers. You just need to know what you're doing. And I studied a lot. Even before brewing my first batch, I read a lot of books. I went to a lot of forums and a lot of articles, and I knew theoretically what I should do and what's behind every step. So that's my start.
Okay. So let's talk about the timeline of the company then. So you started home brewing around 2010.
Yeah, 10, 11.
So 2010, and then so the official. We were talking about this earlier because you mentioned we were talking about the beer festival. We'll mention that later. So you started, if I remember rightly, Pühaste started officially 2014, was it? And that was when you were gypsy brewing.
Yes.
Yeah. So you gypsy brewed. Where did you gypsy brew?
The first one we did was Pohjala. Then one or two batches at Rolanhout and then Lehe.
Okay, so they're all in the Tallinn area.
Yes.
Yeah.
At that time, all the breweries were Tallinn.
Yeah, but are you from Tartu originally?
Yes.
So you came back. Oh, are the other guys? Are Lauri and Ulla from?
Not from Tartu, but they're based in Tartu. They were based at this time.
Okay, so then, did you start it as like a solo adventure,
Yes.
and they joined later?
Yeah, I started home brewing, and the beers were really well received, and it kind of got out of hand. I had a huge demand for my beers, and I sold illegally to some restaurants even, and I thought I can't go on like this. It should make it legal, so didn't have the funds to do it. So gypsy brewing was the way to do it. Yeah. That's when Lauri joined me, and the first batches, official batches, were these named Estonia brewers.
Oh, okay. So then, did you know Lauri and Ulla before, or was it through the beer?
I knew Lauri before, a long time before, but not Ulla personally.
Okay.
When I was gypsy brewing, Ulla approached me at some homebrewers festival and said, I want your beers for my bar. So that's where we met.
Okay.
And Ulla joined us when we actually plan to take it seriously and commit to our own brewery. So we came on board.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, if I remember, we were talking about this before. So yeah, Eero was telling me his background was you studied theology, and then you got into beer. You stopped that. You got into beer, and then so was it? Lauri came from a background in like bars and restaurants and things.
Ular.
Oh, sorry, Ular. Yeah, Ular came from bars and restaurants, and then Lauri came from the IT background. Yeah. So you've got a bit of everything. You've got a good bit of everything. So how?
Good mix.
Yeah. So it works now. Obviously, you're the head brewer. Yes. So what do these guys do in the company now?
Lauri is not as active as before. We do are also the members of the board, so we run the company.
Mm-hmm. So he's more in the business side of it, not rather than the production.
Yeah, he's the CEO of this company.
Okay.
I take care of brewing matters.
Okay. Awesome. It's always interesting to find out from the companies like what do they. Because you hear these are the founders, like what is it they do in the company and the backgrounds are. So yeah. So now we've got Eero very kindly gave me a little walkthrough of the brewery. So I'll film that a little bit later, and you will see a little walkthrough of that as well. But yeah, I mean, let's go back to it then. So what would you say your favourite styles of beer to drink and your favourite styles of beer to brew?
If I have to choose one, it would be.
You can choose a few if you've got a couple.
Yeah, but I have to start from hops. I like IPAs. I like sour beers. I like strong dark beers. I like barrel aged beers. I like a good lager. So it doesn't matter what style, and I think people need to categorize things. But if it's well brewed, if it's honest beer, I like it.
It's well brewed. Yeah. I can definitely relate.
But yeah, the first thing that comes to mind, hops.
Hops.
I like hops.
Yeah. So your favourite style then you would say IPA.
Yeah.
Is there any particular IPA? A question that I know some people like to ask is the Desert Island beer. So if you've got a Desert Island IPA, what would you pick?
Some years ago, I would have said Pliny by Russian River, but it has changed now. So Desert Island, but it has to be something low ABV, I think. So we choose our own hazy pale ale, Sugi.
Ah, okay. And this one. No. I keep mixing up the range.
Yeah, this is Munin. This would be my second.
Okay. So
it's the newer beer, and I'm drinking more of that at the moment.
Okay, awesome. So here's one for you that seems to be a little bit of a thing just now. New England or West Coast?
Oh, God, you make it difficult. I like both of the styles actually, but it really depends on my mood.
Yeah, I mean, I've been finding recently that there's so many breweries doing the New England, it's made me start to miss the West Coast, but then the new West Coasts don't have the bitterness that they used to.
Yeah, they are the new school of West Coast, the hybrids.
Oh yeah, because I mean, I think that's one of the things that I personally feel from reviewing all the beers. Everyone's doing the New Englands. It's all about the haze, and I miss like a good black IPA. I miss the West Coast, and quite recently I had a very small Swedish brewery that did a Florida IPA,
with fruits.
Yeah, no, not with fruit. I think it was a mixed lactobacillus culture, wheat base, just just very slightly sour IPA. And you don't come across that too often. I think. The New Zealand IPAs I always liked as well because the hops are a bit different. So yeah, it's interesting that when you made me think of that question when you said my favourite style was IPA. So yeah, but I think I actually don't know if I've ever had a West Coast IPA from you. I think the ones that I have had have been hazies.
Mosaic, our core range beer, which we call Vienna IPAs, is by style West Coast IPA.
But with Vienna malt.
Yes.
That sounds interesting, because I do like Vienna malt. That sounds very interesting.
90 97% of yellow.
Nice.
Just a bit of brown.
Alright. Awesome.
And then new school, West Coast is Pillergar, right there. But mosaic is more to the original style, Mobice.
That sounds. Is that one in so guys, after this video, I'm going to go up into the city again and do a little out and about video at Kelder.
Yeah.
So maybe
I think at least mosaic should be
on the tap in Kelder, right? So I'm going to make sure I review mosaic up in the Kelder then. So yeah, let's have a little look at our next questions then. So, your favourite beer festival? What would you say is your favourite beer festival?
I like the Michaelis Festival really. When it was smaller, I like to do it even more, but past years have been maybe too out of hand, too many people. And Tallinn Craft Beers Festival is great, and our festival is great.
Yeah. So. Oh yeah. Well, let's talk about that then while we're on that subject. So could you tell them a little bit about the festival that you guys do?
Yeah, it's a birthday festival held every September. We invite our friends, 25 breweries from mainly from Europe. We have 5 breweries from the States as well. So nice tiny festival, around 1,000 people and bands and very quiet.
Okay. So yeah, if you find yourself in is it in Tartu?
In Tartu.
Tartu. So yeah.
In this building.
Ah, right. Okay.
And then the outside, yeah.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. So guys, yeah, if you come to Estonia, my advice would be don't just stick to Tallinn. Go down. Make sure you come down to Tartu. Very nice city. You've got some lovely countryside around here. Go out to the coast as well and see Pärnu. You've got the islands, Saaremaa and Hiiumaa. That's it. Yeah. So yeah, go and check out the islands. It's a very beautiful country and you've got very nice people here. Definitely. So one festival I would recommend for you would be Brewskival in Helsingborg.
We were invited this year.
Ah, but you couldn't make it obviously because of COVID. Yeah. No, well maybe
they haven't officially cancelled it yet, but I imagine that's the case.
I think it's actually, if I remember right, it's due to be in about 2 weeks. It's usually the 20th of August or something. So I think
we haven't got a note that it's not, but
yeah, no, I think that's
it's
gone.
by default.
I think that's probably
gone, of course. Yeah.
But yeah, maybe I go there every year, so probably I'll see you there in maybe next
Hopefully
year.
Next year.
So yeah,
so.
Yeah, so maybe we can film a tasting of one of your beers or something at the together. So yeah, next year at the on the Brewskival video, you should see Eero will be back on the channel. Your favorite beer travel location, and then your favorite travel location to go generally. What would that be?
Everything beer-wise is the States. There's just so much going on.
So where have you travelled in the States then?
I've travelled everywhere basically. Done quite a lot of road trips, beer-related trips, East Coast, West Coast, Vermont,
Oh, nice. So I'm doing a New England trip in September to do the breweries up there, Boston, Portland, all of this kind of thing. And I do want to get out. I've done Chicago a little bit, but I want to get out to California and Portland and Oregon.
We were supposed to do a collab with Pipe Works in Chicago, but then the COVID hit.
Oh yeah.
We went to Canada and we couldn't get back to country because to the Schengen citizens the entrance was forbidden. And Chicago is nice.
Oh yeah, I mean there's like 150 breweries in the greater Chicago area or something. It's crazy that. I've got one of my early followers, he sent me Pipeworks before it made it to Europe, so I tried, the Ninja Unicorn and I can't remember, he sent me like Free and Lizard King and I can't remember the name of the other one. So this is one of the things I always know if I've tried a beer, but it was like when I was with you at the door. One of the things I'll show you in a second, they've got all the labels on the door, So, and I couldn't remember the names of the beers apart from a few, but I was like, yeah, I know this label, I know this label, I know this one. So, yeah, this is the thing. Like, I was struggling to remember the name of this one because it's the Estonian.
It's hard because they are in Estonia. Most of our core range is in Estonia.
Yeah. But I would say this is one of the things that I would say. Don't change that, because I think it's quite cool to get a bit of awareness about the language, even though people like me are going to forget that, are going to forget the names. You always remember the labels and you remember the name of the brewery. So I think I like this this is one of the things that I love about Europe, and why probably I will never move away from Europe. You have all these languages, you have all these little bits of culture and things. And I think that's one of the great things. So yeah, never change that. Never change the names, even though idiots like me will forget them. Yeah. So pretty much all of the beers, apart from the collaborations, are Estonian names, aren't they? Because the one that sticks in mind when I say that is
we have a few, but the collaboration beers are all in English.
Yeah, because the one that I pointed out was Trinity and Black, and that was AF and Zagopol from Russia. So yeah, like 95% of your beers, 90% are Estonian names.
Maybe a bit less, but yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I guess then we've kind of gone through most of these actually. So the beer that you're most proud of brewing, either from one in terms of, or maybe we can say in terms of taste, which one are you most proud of that you brewed, and which one do you think was a bit of like a technical achievement?
I think technically the sour beers or the double mashed imperial stouts are the most challenging. But I can't choose just one beer that I'm proud of. I have to be proud of everything that goes out of this building.
Yeah.
So I'm proud of all of them, but I would say maybe the imperial stouts is harder to make, and they tend to turn out pretty well for us. So.
Have you got a favourite one if you were to recommend people?
I would have to say Decadence. It was the first one, but I like Tumainen and the versions of Tumainen as well.
Ah, okay.
Tumainen is dark matter.
Because I think those are two that I've not tried yet, actually. I've not tried either of those. So I think I was saying that the first beer I tried from Pühaste was Mari, because I knew the name. I knew the name of Pühaste, and then I'm pretty sure that I just saw. This is either my discovery of Pühaste either happened when I either found one beer from you a long time ago, and then I didn't have anything for ages, and I found Mari, or Mari was the first one, and I just found it in the supermarket randomly, and I was like, yeah, got to have that. So so your imperial stouts are your sour beers. I think that's a pretty fair answer there. Yeah. So I guess the thing now would be, how much are you brewing a year roughly, and what are your kind of plans for the future of the brewery?
We brewed 3,500 hectoliters last year.
So 350,000. 3.5. Is that 350,000 liters?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be bigger this year because of the COVID situation, but around that.
Okay.
And when it comes to future plans, steady growth, nothing too big and hasty. So, we like to keep things stable and to secure our backs, not take any deep risks with huge investments and interest from China.
Oh, okay.
Not getting the building full like new tanks, because it's just grow organically and keep stability.
Oh yeah. So at this point then, so you're producing 350,000 litres a year. You've got the Kelder bar here in Tartu. You've got a tap room in Tallinn as well. Do you think maybe a tap room in Pärnu or Riga something like this, maybe the next step?
Not Pärnu, but outside of Estonia, Riga or even in Scandinavia. Let's see. It's been, we have discussed it.
So it'll be interesting to see then. Yeah, maybe you'll see a Pühaste bar in like Stockholm, Gothenburg, Copenhagen, something like this. That'd be pretty cool. Helsinki. Yeah, that'd be cool. So yeah, maybe you'll be able to try the Pühaste beers on tap. I don't actually know how often I've seen your beers on tap. Come to think of it, so that's another interesting one. But yeah, I guess the thing to kind of round off then with would be, so everyone sees the name Pühaste. What does it mean?
It's actually the village name. I have a summer house there, and that's where I started home brewing. And it means Püha means holy in Estonian.
Right. Okay.
And the SD ending is like the holy place.
Right. Also.
And the story behind this is that it used to be a religious center or ceremonial center in ancient times. There are still a lot of sacrificial stones, and there were probably holy groves as well. So that's why the name.
Okay.
So it has this mystery behind it that we keep the name.
Okay. So it's Pühaste, the holy liquid, maybe.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah. Where is Pühaste then?
it's 50 kilometers from Tartu.
Oh, okay. Maybe I need to go and see if I can drive out there and have a little look at it, and that'd be quite cool. So yeah, there's the mystery answer. What is Pühaste? It's a little village near Tartu.
Yeah, that's a village name.
Yeah, okay. You should put that on your labels. I think that would be quite cool to let people know, because again, like we were saying earlier, having all these Estonian words and stuff, it's a language that's spoke by about 1 million people, maybe just over 1 million people. Yeah, so I would say that. I like, as I said, I like this about Europe, when you get all these small languages and things, and I would put that on your labels. So explain the story of the name. I think that's pretty
good idea.
Yeah, I think I would advise that. But yeah, I guess that is a good place to kind of round off our interview then. So, Eero, thank you for taking the time to sit down with me and show me around the brewery and things like that. And yes, again, I'm sure you guys would agree, it's really cool to hear a little bit more about the Estonian beer scene and another very well-known Estonian brewery. No doubt I will be back in Estonia at some point, and as I said, I'll probably see you in Brewskival and probably a few other festivals at some point. Yeah, so yeah, I'm sure we'll see Eero on the channel in the future again, doing a couple of tastings or something like that. So yeah, but awesome. Yeah, thank you for joining, and yeah, make sure you try this one, guys. This is nice. Keep doing that. Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. As I say, I'm not sure what order I'll edit the video into, but yeah, thank you for watching the interview. Check out Pühaste's beers. My favourites that I've had so far, probably the Trinity in black was really nice. What's the name of the one with the lion on it? The
Sume.
Sume is a very nice double IPA as well, and Mari is a really solid Berliner Weisse too. These three are probably my favourites that I've had so far, but there's a lot. How many is it now? 100-ish beers? 130 maybe?
Yeah, many one-offs.
Yeah, so somewhere in the region of like 130, 150 if I'm remembering. I always check Untappd to see how many is listed there. But yeah, you've got a good selection of beers there. Those are probably my 3 favourites so far, with many more to discover. So yeah, thank you again to Eero, thank you to you guys for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed another edition of Meet the Brewery. This one, Pühaste Pruulikoda, Tartu in the southeast of Estonia. Until the next time, Slanjud, Skull, Terby 6. Right guys, so just another little segment I thought that would be quite fun, because I was telling Eero that in the reviews I like to play Guess the Hops and things. So I thought maybe we can do a sit-down tasting and Eero can tell me if I'm right or not. So we'll see. So this one is the Sumi. It's a double...
Suvi, yeah.
Suvi. So this one's a double... I'm not allowed to look at the label. Can you tell us about this one?
It's hazy pale ale, 4.5% ABV. Light and fruity.
Light and fruity. Yes. So the aim of this review then is to guess what hops are in this. So we'll see. So yeah. This is quite cool. This isn't that often you'll get to see someone do a guess the box with the brewer of the beer. So yeah, but I have to say on this one, not looking at the label, artwork on this is pretty cool. Who is your label artist?
We use mainly one, but this is done by a different. So we two now.
Ah, okay.
Margen Elk is our main design.
Margen Elk. Okay, cool. Yeah, I need to remember. Is that on the cans usually? I must have missed that on the cans then. Ah, okay. So yeah, guys, this time we have kind of bright yellow, hazy colour. This one, so New England style pale ale, obviously. Finger of just about 2/3 finger, frothy, perfect white head. Yeah, aroma. This is really soft. This is really quite soft and tropical. Yeah. So already my head is saying like this could be something along the lines of Simcoe, or I don't think it's quite. Idaho 7's another one that comes into my mind.
Both incorrect.
Both incorrect. Okay. Let's see then. It's not pungent enough to be Galaxy, I don't think.
No Galaxy.
No Galaxy. So it's out of this one. It's quite. It's got
we're already around a bit. Tell me if we get one out.
Yeah, when you move it around, it gets a little bit more pungent.
Yeah.
So when you let it sit, it's more like mango-y, like papayas kind of type stuff.
There's something unique to this. This one hop we use.
So it's only one hop, isn't it?
It's 3 hops, but one pretty new variety.
Okay. The thing that comes into my head if it's new then is Sabro. But I don't. Sabro's in this, yeah. Because it doesn't.
It's a light coconut, a bit of this cedary.
Yeah. Because I was thinking that it has a wee bit of. It has a little bit of.
Or even dill, like Sorachi Ace, something like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's got a little. Yeah. You can. I don't get so much of the coconut. It's the
we
orange.
use. Like 20-25%. So. It can take over the beer if you do more.
Yeah, because that's the thing, like, you do get a bit of orange in this, so I would have probably guessed, if I hadn't got it like that, I might have thought maybe there's a little bit of mosaic in here, underneath it. But,
that's something rare, but mosaic is not
Yeah.
there.
So we've got one down, so it's Sabro, we've got a few to go. So the tropical side of things then. The mango that's in this makes me want to say maybe Citra.
Correct.
Right, okay, yeah, so it is Citra. Because you get a little bit of gooseberry. At the front of the nose, I think there's like a teeny bit of like a gooseberry. And that's usually, if you get mango and just a wee bit of gooseberry, Citra. And there's something that's soft and tropical in this. As I said, first thought was like Simcoe or... first thought was Simcoe or... what was the other one that I said? Simcoe or Idaho 7, but you said no to those.
Southern Hemisphere.
Southern Hemisphere.
Maybe.
Right. So if
Galaxy was quite near.
But it's not Enigma because Enigma's nothing like this.
Enigma is something like Nelson Sauvage.
Victoria's Secret, the little sister
Absolutely.
of yeah. But that's me guessing the name rather than actually picking it up. But yeah. So we have so Victoria's Secret, which Victoria's Secret's basically the little sister, little brother of Galaxy almost. It's like same kind of profile but not quite as. It's a bit softer.
Galaxy is more pungent.
Yeah.
More in your face.
Yeah. So fruit-wise, we've got a little bit of orange in here. We've got a little bit of the mangoes. I get a wee bit of gooseberry out of this, and then there's a wee bit of a kind of slightly stronger passion fruity one. Right? What do you reckon of the fruits? Would you say?
I think correct. I get some citrus notes as well. Some orange or even blood orange. And some dank notes that go over like tropical fruits.
Yeah. See, it does. The more you smell of it, I think, and the more your nose gets used to it, I think it gets a little bit of a zest. It almost has like a teeny bit of lemon. And I think I get this from quite a few beers. So probably I get Centennial in quite a few beers where I shouldn't, because I think of the lemon. Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, I think on the green side of the hops, I find this one, it's quite well balanced between, it's got quite a bright grassiness to it, but at the same time it has a little bit of a floral note. The floral note's not too spicy, I think. To me, I mean, I wouldn't say, if it was me, I wouldn't say this one was dank, because when I think dankness, I think like, you know, Chinook, Columbus,
Yeah,
these kind of
I think Zabro brings a bit of that to the beer. It's really unique and weird hop.
yeah.
I think people perceive it a bit different. Depends on the plant.
Because I think that this one, it's quite, the greens, the green side for me is quite nice and quite balanced, and you don't really get, the thing that would have given away Mosaic, I think, Mosaic gives you a little bit of earthiness, there's a wee bit, and you don't get that in this. It does smell like completely, the green side of the hops is completely green.
it's a grassy note, definitely.
Yeah.
That's also from South.
Nice. Well, yeah, malt base, what we say, I want to say, there's definitely like a kind of, there is pale malt to this. Is there a little bit of wheat in it?
A special variety of pale malt. Golden Promise by Simpsons.
Right, yeah, because you do get a little bit of biscuitiness out of it. Golden Promise always gives you Golden Promise, and what's the English one? Maris Alta. Those always give you like a lovely biscuity note to it.
No wheat in this one.
No wheat, okay.
Quite a bit of oats.
Yeah, because to me it does, at the back of the nose, it does have a little bit of that wheaty bitiness. But yeah, the oats, yeah, you definitely get the creaminess of the oats in this one. Yeah, let's have a go at this then. So the name again, the Suvis.
Summering.
Suvis. Ah, right, okay. Well, tell me this, guys. That's really nice. That's a really nice just session of all that one.
That's the idea.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. Because yes, that's one of the things is for me, to drink a beer like this from you guys is quite unique, because you're kind of like, oh, if you see a Pühaste thing, it's like, no, I'm going for the most beast thing that I can get. So it's like, to drink something like this is what I said to Em at Pruulikoda the other day as well, to try the pills. You know, if you've got the choice between, like, you don't see the Estonian beers all that often. If you've got the choice of the pills or the Imperial Stout or one of the double IPAs, you're obviously going to pick just the beast, aren't you? And yet, does this beer go abroad, this one? Or?
It does.
Okay.
But not to Sweden yet.
Okay.
Some other countries,
Yeah.
It's quite a new beer for us. It's third batch kind of.
So when was it first brewed? Like this year?
Yeah. In June.
So right. So yeah, it's only like in the last few months. So yeah. So yeah, guys, Suvi, brand new beer. But yeah, like body, like malt base wise, you can definitely get the kind of, you get a little bit of that crispness out of it, which you're going to get with the pale ale. Because I think, am I right in thinking? I always think with pale ales and with a lot of beers, the sort of volume of the pale malt stays roughly the same in terms of ratio, but it's the oats and the wheat and things that go up when you go up to the higher alcohol. Is that right?
More or less.
Yeah.
You can play around with the junks in New England style of beers.
Okay. Yeah, because
you can do only 50% of the base of the other wheat and oats. So yeah, I would say most of the New Englands are around 70% of the
so about 70% is base malt, and the other 15 is kind of the variable.
It tends to be like that.
It's interesting to hear this, because one thing I've always wondered, and it's just from basic homebrewing knowledge, it's kind of like, right, so you have your base malt, and the thing that you always notice with these beers is that they go in terms of like creaminess and thickness. Once, it's always you get more wheat, more oats, and that's when it feels thicker and thicker and thicker. But the thing I find with the New Englands is that once you go above 8, unless you put something, like maybe Carapils or Caramunic, one of these slightly sweeter malts, I think the beer starts to go, it starts to feel too boozy, if you like, and that's not...
Not with Carapils, but with longer kiln caramel malt. Like caramel unit, definitely.
You know, I mean, if you don't put one of these sweeter malts in it, it's difficult to go above like 8.5% without the beer feeling, you know, really boozy. I think with these, but it's just something, and that's trying, you know, beers from yourself, from Brewski, like the other breweries in Sweden. I just always find that the New Englands, unless you have a sweet malt in there, they struggle above the 8.5. But then, if you've got a bit of that in there, you can go to the triples and stuff like that. But yeah, this one's got a lovely pale malty base. It does have a wee bit of kind of crispness at the back palate. The oaty creaminess comes out a bit more further forward, I think. And so the malt base on this is really nice. If I blind tasted this, you said it was 4.5. Yeah, I would think this was higher if I was blind tasting this, because the oats do have quite a bit of presence in this.
Mash it at quite high temperature.
So does that make the oats? Is that something that affects the thickness of the beer, the mouthfeel?
Yeah, there are a bit more residual sugars, but we balance it with hops.
Yeah, because I would think this was like maybe 5.5, 6 or something like that. I would probably, as a blind guess. But yeah, hoppy wise, I think in the hop you do get a little bit of earthiness, I think, out of this.
Grossiness, maybe. I don't know. I don't get the earthiness.
I get like teeny, like just very small bit. But yeah, the green side is like the floral notes in the front. But I've noticed this. I think I always get a tiny bit of earthiness. It's maybe because of the German beers that I drink. I think I always find you get a teeny bit of earthiness from almost everything in the back, at the very, very back corners of the palate. But yeah, quite floral on the front corners of the tongue. And quite the grassiness, I think, is quite bright, almost floral in character. It's got a little bit of zestiness to it, which is nice. And you want that, I think, from a lighter beer, I guess. So, yeah, good. And what do you think about the fruits and the flavour?
I would say there are not as much citrusy notes. I get some tropical notes and some of these woody, grassy notes, and I think that's from the several.
Yeah, I get the woodiness. I see what you mean with the woodiness now. Yeah, it's interesting because I agree with that. This beer's like very soft and tropical in its flavour, but I find that interesting that the aroma. This is some beers the aroma is like almost exactly like the flavour, but with other ones it's quite different, and I think this is one that, in terms of the fruity side of the beer at least, is quite different in its flavour profile. So yeah, it's good.
I'm really happy with how the several hops play in this beer. They're a bit dangerous. If you overdose several, you can really take over the beer.
Oh yeah.
It plays quite nicely in this one.
Yeah, I think it's gone in quite nicely. So it was Victoria's Secret and Citra. I mean, yeah. And I think with those two, Citra's got a bit. Citra's what, like 13, 14 alpha acid, something like that.
Same as Wick and several as well.
Right, okay. Because I thought Victoria's Secret was like 11, and then Sabro was like stronger.
Wick Secret can be even up to 20.
Right. Because I remember one thing that I found out recently that really surprised me was Nelson Sauvin, because that's every once in a while the white, green, grapey flavours, but it's like 16% alpha acid. It's a beast. It's just a beast. But yeah, this is really nice. I mean, it's if I was blind tasting this, and I always say this in the videos, if I was blind tasting this without knowing what it was, I would think this was like a 6% regular IPA. So I mean, this is that's a kind of interesting thing, that you can brew something that is this light but still get the full.
Have you tried our micro IPA? 2.8?
No, actually.
And this drinks like 4.5.
Right. I need to. Is that on a kilder? You know.
It might be, but I think the new batch is not ready yet.
If that one's on a kilder, I'll try that as well.
Yeah.
I'll do a taste of that. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. But yeah, I think mouthfeel-wise with this one, it's kind of. I'd say that this is kind of almost right in the middle of the spectrum. Like it's in some ways, yeah, you get a lot of crispness out of this beer, but the oats, I think, at the front of it feels like lighter at the back of the palate, but then towards the front it's a bit thicker. Is there some sort of like Pilsner malt in this one at all? No. That surprises me, because I think with Pilsner malt, I always find like if you go to like the back third of your tummy, you get a bit of crispness usually. Which I always find there's a bit of Pilsner malt here, because it feels like there is. So, yeah. Because that was a trait in Sweden. There was a lot of breweries doing that, just putting a wee bit of Pilsner malt in and, you know, crisping the beer up. So, yeah, it's nice that. But yeah, it's got it's crisp at the back, smoother at the front.
I think you can get the crispiness from the hops as well.
I think, yeah, the floral, it's got it has a very slight spice to it, but then it's quite aromatic at the same time. It's got a good zestiness around the front of the tongue, so yeah, probably that is the crispness, but the fruits are very kind of smooth and juicy as well, so yeah, it's nicely done that. That's a really solid beer. So for 4.5%, that's impressive, guys. This is one of the things, I mean, as I said, whenever I come across a Pühaste beer, it's like 8% double IPA or a pale ale or something like this. Automatically, my thought is to go for the beast, because Estonian beer. But yeah, maybe I should change that mentality.
We brew a lot of style.
Oh yeah. So yeah, guys, I think we can say safely, if you come across a sort of lower alcohol beer from Pühaste, don't be put off by that. Don't think you have to pick the beast if you've got a choice of a couple. The lower alcohol ones seem to be pretty damn solid, and this does drink like a sort of, think of like, you know, one of the 50/50s from OO Brewing, or you know, the Amazing Haze from Stig Bergets. This one drinks like that, I think. That's a beer that's fairly widely available throughout Europe, I think, now. So I think that's a good comparison for this. This one is kind of like an Amazing Haze type thing. It's got lovely kind of Christmas and drinkability to it. So yeah. So guys, yeah, little bonus segment on the video for you. And this was a really cool thing to do and get the hops. I think it's maybe fair to say I got 2 from the nose, but then the other one I guessed because you gave me the clue.
Pretty close.
So, yeah, it's not bad. Shows you that the nose and the mouth work. I'm pleased to see that. But yeah, guys, again, thank you to Eero for joining me for this. This was quite fun. I think I need to take this forward and do this with other brewers as well. But yeah, no, this was pretty cool. But yeah, little bonus segment for you guys. The sous vide 4.5%. Do you call it a session IPA or
hazy pale ale?
Hazy pale ale, yeah, hazy pale ale from Pühaste here in Tartu once again. I think this probably will be the last section of the video, so yeah, we'll round it off. Again, guys, you know, please like, subscribe, share, all the usual YouTube stuff. Go on to Facebook, Instagram. Do you guys use Twitter as well?
Not really.
Ah, okay. Well, yeah, Facebook and Instagram. You can check out Pühaste. I think the Kelder page has a separate page as well. Yeah.
And so Untitled Chapter as well.
Ah, yeah, so there's separate pages for the 2 tap rooms that you can check out as well. So yeah, go and give these guys a like and subscribe, a like and a follow. It is on Twitter and Instagram. I'm terrible with the Instagram and stuff like that. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed edition number 3. I'm holding up. That's it. I was holding up 4 fingers. Edition number 3 of Meet the Brewer. This was really fun to film, and yeah, like I said earlier, you will see Eero on the channel in the future. Tervesex, guys. Thank you.